Hey everyone! Did you know there are some incredible differences between male and female cats? That's right. If you're a cat lover or thinking about adopting one, stick with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to share 5 surprising differences you may have never imagined. And trust me, you're going to be amazed. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any content about these cute and amazing felines. And of course, leave a like if you love kitties because it really helps me bring more videos like this. Now, let's dive in and explore these differences. Number 1. Behavior and temperament. Starting with the first difference, which will definitely touch your heart: behavior and temperament. Have you noticed that, in general, males tend to be more independent and even a bit bolder, right? They love to explore new environments, mark their territory more visibly, and can often be more energetic in their play and interactions. Males tend to be more adventurous, sometimes even challenging, and don't care much about seeking attention from their owners, preferring to follow their own instincts. They have more intense energy, which can result in lots of action and sometimes a bit of mess around the house. On the other hand, females are generally more affectionate, protective, and caring. They tend to bond more closely with their owners, seeking affection and attention more consistently. Females often prefer to stay close to you, watching your movements with a protective and attentive gaze. They also have a natural instinct to care, which can be a very noticeable trait, especially when it comes to protecting their space or their kittens if they're pregnant. In terms of temperament, they are more sensitive to changes in their environment, liking to have a sense of security and comfort around them. Now, I'm not saying that males aren't affectionate. Quite the opposite. They can be extremely loving as well. But generally speaking, females' personalities tend to be calmer and more focused on emotional bonds with humans and their environment. And what about you? Have you had experiences with male and female cats that confirm these traits? Or maybe you've noticed a specific difference in your cats? Leave a comment below. I'd love to know. It'll be great to exchange these experiences with you. Number 2. Hunting instincts. Now let's talk about hunting instincts. This is something that will surprise you. Both males and females have this innate hunting ability, but males, due to their more territorial instincts, can be more aggressive and determined when it comes to capturing something. They really have this territory protector vibe, which makes them approach hunting in a more direct and bold way. Males tend to dive into hunting with intense energy and a strong focus on capturing any threat or potential prey. They are more likely to make quick, impulsive attacks, perhaps even more visibly as they feel motivated to defend their territory or demonstrate their strength. On the other hand, females, while also possessing excellent hunting instincts, tend to be more cautious and strategic when hunting. They often observe their prey for longer periods, planning the best moment to act, which makes their approach more subtle and controlled. This more calculated behavior makes females often quieter and more cunning hunters, taking advantage of the right moment to strike with precision. They have a sharp sense of patience and know how to wait for the perfect moment to ensure a successful attack. This can also be observed when females are hunting to feed their kittens or bring something back to their home, showing how maternal instincts can influence their behavior. This difference between males and females doesn't mean one is a better hunter than the other, but rather that they have distinct approaches reflecting their natural instincts and their roles within their environment and territory. If you've noticed any differences in your cat's hunting behavior, whether male or female, share it in the comments below. We'd love to hear. These little observations can be really interesting, and who knows, you might have noticed something we haven't mentioned yet. Number 3. Hygiene care. And let's be honest, who here has noticed that male cats are usually more, how can I put it, messy? Haha, that's right. They tend to be more relaxed when it comes to hygiene. They clean themselves, of course, but they don't have the same level of care as females. Males are often quicker when grooming, sometimes skipping areas or not paying as much attention to detail. They're content with spending a decent amount of time cleaning themselves, but generally, they don't have the same meticulousness that females do. This might reflect their nature, more focused on exploring their environment or engaging in other activities that grab their attention. It's very typical of their bold, independent behavior. On the other hand, females have a more refined instinct. When it comes to hygiene, they are usually more meticulous when cleaning themselves, spending time and attention on the details. There's a natural explanation for this. In the wild, they need to stay well-groomed and hygienic to ensure their health and to properly care for their kittens. Females typically have a tendency to keep their bodies clean and tidy, as a way of ensuring they are ready to care for their offspring if needed. This maternal instinct can be quite strong and is reflected in their daily behavior. But of course, every cat is unique, right? And I'm sure there are plenty of male cats that are super careful about their hygiene too. Some male cats are extremely particular about their grooming, making sure to clean themselves in a very detailed and loving manner. It really depends on each cat's personality. Tell me in the comments, have you noticed this difference? What's your cat's hygiene behavior like, whether male or female? Share your experience. It will be great to exchange these observations with you. Number 4. Reactions to stress. This one is for those of you who have more than one cat at home or have experienced a stressful situation with your pet. Reactions to stress can be quite different between males and females. Generally, males tend to react in a more explosive or aggressive way. When they're stressed, they may display more agitated behavior, even vocalizing more, moving in a more abrupt way, or reacting with more hostility to changes in their environment. This might include marking territory more intensely, scratching, or even attacking objects or other animals as a way of coping with the tension. Territorial instincts are very strong in males, and when stressed, they may try to assert themselves more in the surrounding space. This behavior is much more visible and direct. Females, on the other hand, tend to hide or isolate themselves, seeking a safe, quiet place to deal with the situation. They tend to find quiet corners, under furniture, or any spot where they feel protected, away from what's causing them stress. This hiding behavior may be their way of dealing with emotional pressure and finding a space where they can calm down. Females often prefer to avoid direct confrontation, and instead choose to distance themselves until they feel safer and more balanced. They can be more subtle in their reactions, and unless the stress is extreme, they usually try to handle it in a quieter, more reserved manner. Now, I know every cat has its own personality, and of course, we can't generalize completely. But have you noticed this in yours? Every cat has their own way of coping with stress, and these differences can be fascinating. Let me know in the comments how your cat reacts when stressed. I'd love to read your stories. Who knows, you might have a unique experience to share that could enrich our conversation. Number 5. Mating behavior. And now, to wrap it up with a bang, let's talk about mating behavior. This one is really interesting. It doesn't matter if the cat is neutered or not. This instinct is very strong and can be quite noticeable when they enter mating season. Males generally become more agitated, making strange noises like loud meows and even yowls, especially at night. They mark their territory more intensely by rubbing their face and body on surfaces to leave their scent, and may even urinate in strategic places as a way to attract females and ward off other males. When they're searching for a mate, males become quite visible, showing extra energy and a willingness to travel long distances if needed. They can even become more aggressive toward other male cats, competing for the chance to get close to the female. Females, on the other hand, when in heat, can be more discreet, but of course, they're super intense in how they seek a mate. When they're fertile, they may become more affectionate and active, trying to attract the attention of males in a very direct way. They might meow more loudly and even display unusual behaviors, like rolling on the floor or raising their back, and clear signs that they're ready to mate. While they are more discreet than males in terms of marking territory, their intensity in seeking a mate is undeniable. When a female is in heat, she has a special charm that really catches the attention of the males. Of course, when a cat is neutered, these behaviors tend to decrease or disappear. But even neutered cats might exhibit some mating-related behaviors, like increased vocalization or territorial marking, although in a less intense way. If your cat is in heat, or if you've noticed any different behavior, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how your cat behaves during this time. Every cat has a unique way of handling it, and these stories can be really interesting. Number 6. Feeding and appetite. Now, let's talk about feeding and the appetite of cats. Did you know that males and females can have different eating habits? Males tend to be more greedy and may eat more impulsively, especially if they have more energy or are in a more active state. They might even get more excited at mealtime, eating quickly and sometimes in a disorganized way. This happens because males by nature are more competitive and may see food as something to conquer or even a reward for their actions. This behavior is especially noticeable in unneutered males, who tend to focus more aggressively on food to make sure they don't miss any opportunity to eat. Females, on the other hand, although they also love to eat, tend to be more controlled and careful about the amount of food they consume. They are usually more selective about the type of food and might stop eating more easily if they don't particularly like the meal. Females typically prefer to eat at a calmer pace, savoring each bite, and tend to eat more out of necessity and in a more balanced way. This is also because, in nature, females, especially when they're not in heat, tend to be more practical and focused on their routine. Additionally, an interesting point is that pregnant or nursing females may have a significantly larger appetite, as they need extra nutrients to sustain the kittens, while neutered males may show a less aggressive appetite, but are still prone to eating uncontrollably if not monitored. Another behavior that varies from cat to cat is their reaction to treats and snacks. Some males, due to being more impulsive, might get more excited about these goodies, while females tend to be more cautious. Now, tell me in the comments, have you noticed any differences in your cat's appetite? How does he or she act when they're hungry? Is your cat the greedy type, or more controlled? I'd love to hear how your cat's appetite behaves, and if you've noticed these differences. Number 7. Communication and vocalization. And to finish, let's talk about cat communication and vocalization. This is one of the most striking differences. In general, males tend to be louder. They meow, howl, and make more sounds to attract females or even mark their territory. It's normal for them to communicate with more intensity, especially during the mating period. They might emit loud meows and even screams, which are typical during their search for a mate. Some males even pace back and forth or become more active at night, trying to make themselves heard. This vocalization is their way of showing their presence and competing with other males, as sound becomes a way to display dominance and attraction to females. Additionally, males can also be more persistent in their vocalizations. If they are not neutered, these meows or screams can be more frequent, especially when they're trying to attract a female or are in a more excited state. It's also not uncommon for them to make growling sounds or even scratch objects in search of territory that will attract more attention. Females, on the other hand, while they also meow, tend to be quieter, but their vocalizations are usually softer and more strategic. They may meow more to communicate something specific, like asking for attention, affection, or food, or even to communicate with their kittens if they are mothers. Females are less likely to make loud and persistent sounds like males, And the reason for this is tied to their need to remain more discreet, especially when they are in heat. In some cases, when a female is ready to mate, her meows tend to be subtler, but equally effective in signaling to the male, who will recognize these signs and respond in his way. The vocalization of females can also be more strategic, depending on the situation. For example, when they are stressed or nervous, they might use a softer meow to get their owner's attention, while in relaxed situations, their meow might be lower or almost imperceptible. Unlike males, they don't risk overdoing their sounds to avoid attracting unwanted attention. Now tell me, have you noticed any differences in how your cat communicates? Is your cat more vocal or quieter? How does he or she communicate with you, especially when they want something? Share with me in the comments. I would love to know how your cat's vocal behavior fits into the differences we discussed. All right, everyone, those were the 7 most surprising differences between male and female cats. I hope you had fun and learned something new. Now tell me, which of these differences surprised you the most? I love hearing your experiences, so don't forget to leave your comment down below, and of course, share this video with your friends who are passionate about cats. And if you liked it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more amazing content about our feline friends. See you in the next video, everyone. Bye.